You know, in the world's most successful companies, there's this powerful system humming along, right beneath the surface. And no, it's not some fancy new software or a crazy management trend. It's something way more fundamental. It's the architecture of micro-automation loops. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your workday the same way again.
Let's just start with an uncomfortable truth, shall we? Right now, this very second, you are losing money. It's not some big catastrophic failure. It's happening in these tiny, almost invisible little moments. The quote here says it perfectly. It's like 1,000 tiny leaks in a water pipe, a slow, silent drain on the one resource you can never, ever get back, your time.
So, how do we find and plug these leaks? Well, we've got a roadmap for that. First, we're going to diagnose the problem and find those 1,000 tiny leaks. Then, we'll see where it all came from, going from chaos to orchestration. After that, we'll get into the solution, the unsleeping logic engine. We'll even explore the psychology of why this works so well, give you a blueprint to build your own freedom engine, and finally, wrap up with a big lesson here. Growth isn't linear.
Okay, let's jump right into section 1, the 1,000 tiny leaks. We have to start here by shining a big, bright light on this hidden tax that's being charged against your time and your focus every single day, whether you realize it or not.
You know, most of us have what you could call macro automation blindness. We're trained to hunt for the whale, that one giant company-saving project. We think if we just get that massive new enterprise software, all our problems will disappear. But while we're out there hunting that whale, we're getting eaten alive by a swarm of minnows. These are the little 60-second tasks, the 5-minute interruptions. It's the endless copy-pasting from a spreadsheet to your CRM. It's manually typing up a Slack update. It's spending 20 minutes just trying to find that one invoice. By themselves, they seem like nothing, but add them all up, they are the absolute death of real productivity.
All of these little tasks have basically forced us into this new, unspoken role, the digital janitor. Just look at this definition. A digital janitor is anyone who has to do manual work just to make their own software tools talk to each other. I mean, it's the digital version of carrying buckets of water from one well to another because the pipes just don't connect. This isn't strategy. It isn't creative thinking. It's manual labor, plain and simple.
And that leads us to this really painful paradox of the modern office. We're sold this dream, right? Buy more software and you'll be more productive. But the reality is often the complete opposite. The more tools we buy, the more little gaps we create between those tools. And that means we have to do more manual work to act as the human glue. We fool ourselves into thinking all this frantic activity is progress. But being busy isn't the same as being productive. A lot of the time, it's just the noise of a broken system.
So how on earth did we get here? Let's move on to section 2 and trace the origin story of this whole mess, from chaos to orchestration.
It really all started with what's called the SaaS explosion. Suddenly, there were these amazing, affordable tools for every little thing you could imagine. A great app for accounting, a brilliant one for project management, an incredible one for customer service. And the result? The average small business was suddenly juggling 80 different applications. And yeah, each one was great at its one specific job, but they were all like these little islands of efficiency, totally disconnected from each other.
The result of all that fragmentation is, well, it's staggering. Take a look at a manager's day. A full 40%, that's almost half of their day, is spent just being a human bridge between apps. Their main job becomes copying info from one system, pasting it into another, and then summarizing it for a third. That's not leadership, it's not strategy. It's the most expensive, inefficient way to move data from one place to another. This timeline really tells the story perfectly. It starts in the 2020s with that SaaS explosion. By 2023, that created what's called the context switching tax. Every time you jump between apps, you pay a little mental price, and it just bankrupts your focus. But out of that crisis, a new hero emerges, the workflow architect. This is a huge shift in thinking. A workflow architect knows their real value isn't in doing the tasks. It's in designing the systems that do the tasks for them. Their job is to design the work, not just do the work.
And that brings us to the solution itself. Section 3, the unsleeping logic engine. We're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how these micro-automation loops actually work. The solution isn't one giant piece of software. It's actually way more elegant. It's like a series of simple little circuits that never sleep, just waiting for a signal. Let's take a classic example, a lead-to-log circuit. The instant someone fills out a form on your website, a silent, perfect chain reaction kicks off. In less than a second, the system creates a contact in your CRM, it notifies the right salesperson on Slack with all the key info, and it even starts researching the lead's company in the background,
All of this happens in the blink of an eye, before anyone even knows that lead exists. Now, the secret sauce that makes all of this work is a principle called logical concatenation. This is the absolute key. See, most people think automation is just a one-off thing. If this happens, then do that. But that's thinking way too small. Logical concatenation is about creating a chain reaction. It's making sure that the action from one loop becomes the trigger for the next loop. Think of it like dominoes. You don't just want to knock over one domino, right? You want to set them up so that each one perfectly triggers the next, creating this incredible cascading effect. That's how you turn a bunch of simple little steps into a truly intelligent system.
So let's really visualize this. It all kicks off with a trigger. In our case, a new lead fills out a form. That's the starting gun. It's the if part of the equation. That trigger immediately fires off an action. The system, with zero human help, creates a perfect log in the CRM. The task is done, instantly, no errors. But that's not where it ends.
And right here, this is the magic of concatenation. The fact that the log was created, that's not the end of the story. It's the beginning of the next one. That new log now becomes the new trigger. It might fire off 3 more loops at the same time. One to send a welcome email, another to create a follow-up task for the salesperson, and a third to add the contact to a marketing sequence. One loop just flows into the next and the next, creating this unstoppable chain of value.
But the benefits here go so much deeper than just being efficient. Let's get into Section 4 and explore the psychology behind it all, closing the mental tabs.
See, the real power here is rooted in human psychology, specifically something called the Zeigarnik effect. You know that feeling when you just can't stop thinking about something you haven't finished, but the second it's done, you forget all about it? That's the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains are literally wired to stress about unfinished tasks. Every little thing at work, oh, I need to remember to tell Sarah about that lead, or I've got to file that invoice, is like an open tab in your brain's browser, just eating up your mental energy. Micro-automation finds those tabs and closes them for you forever.
And this goes hand in hand with another idea, cognitive load theory. Think of your brain like a phone battery. You wake up every morning with 100%. Every tiny little decision you make, what to name a file, who to CC on an email, drains that battery a little bit. By automating hundreds of these tiny, low-stakes decisions, you're not just saving time, you're saving your precious battery life for the big, complex problems that actually require your brain power.
And let's be crystal clear about something. This is not about replacing people. It's about freeing people from doing robotic work. It's about finally having an intelligent division of labor. Let the machines do what they do best: repetitive, logical, boring tasks. That frees up your team to be human again, to focus on strategic empathy, to solve creative problems, and to build the relationships that actually grow a business.
Okay, so enough theory. How do you actually do this stuff? Let's dive into Section 5, Building Your Freedom Engine. This is your practical guide to becoming a workflow architect.
The framework is a simple 3-step process. Step 1 is the friction audit. For 1 week, just pay attention. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what annoying little task did I have to do at least 3 times today? That's your target. Step 2, engineer the atomic logic. And this is key. Don't try to boil the ocean. Pick one of those annoying tasks and build one single, simple loop. Make it perfect. Get that one small win. Step 3, measure the velocity. You can't just build it and forget it. You have to measure your ROA, your return on automation, to prove that it's working and build momentum for the next one.
And that brings us to the most important metric you need to know: time recapture velocity. We have to stop measuring success by things like tasks completed. This is a total mindset shift. Time recapture velocity calculates your return on automation to figure out how fast an automation pays you back for the time you spent building it. It reframes the whole thing. Automation isn't an expense, it's an investment in buying back your own future.
Let's make this real with a quick example. Let's say you build a little automation to send a thank you video to new clients. It's a task that takes you about 10 minutes a day right now. To build it took you 2 hours, so 120 minutes. So let's do the math. You take the build time, 120 minutes, and you divide it by the time you save each day, 10 minutes. That gives you 12. That means this automation completely pays for itself in just 12 working days. And from day 13 on, every single minute it saves is pure profit. It's time that's just given back to you, every day, forever.
And here's where it gets really powerful. Let's zoom out. That one little loop, saving you just 10 minutes a day, that recaptures over 30 hours for you in a single year. That's almost a full week of work handed back to you from a one-time 2-hour investment. Now, what if you built 10 of those loops, or 20? You're not just managing your work anymore. You are running a machine that literally creates more time.
Okay, this brings us to our final section, the big takeaway from all of this. Section 6, growth isn't linear. This is the really profound lesson here.
So when you strip away all the tech and all the metrics, it's worth asking a much bigger question. What is the real goal of all this? Is it just about making more money or growing faster? Or is there something more human going on?
The real goal is to reclaim our time. It's about winning back the freedom to do the work we were meant to do, the creative work, the strategic work, the relationship building, not the tedious digital janitor work our software accidentally created for us. It's about moving from a state of constant friction to a state of effortless flow.
And that leaves us with this final thought. Growth isn't linear, it's learned. Real lasting growth doesn't come from just working harder. It comes from learning how to build smarter systems. It's about creating systems that don't just push people through a process, but that pull the entire organization toward real, meaningful value. Thanks for joining this explainer.